I got you, people. It's crazy, man, right? Because between Ukraine, Russia, and Israel, China, all these fights that are going around, looks like everything stopped, and the focus now is only on Russia and Ukraine. And before, it was about the NATO forces expanding too much to territories that Russia consider a threat to him if they expand more to the east of Europe, right? That was the cause of the war in Ukraine, right? It had nothing to do with anything else but the expansion of NATO. But now it looks like everything is about minerals, right? And picture this, or think about this. Nobody had it in mind that Ukraine has minerals and they wanted these minerals and they could negotiate peacefully with Ukraine about these minerals. And now, all of a sudden, minerals in Ukraine is the most important thing in the world to these governments now. Everyone wants this Ukrainian mineral kryptonite. Like it's going to help magically everybody settle things because of all these minerals, you know? And these minerals are used to do other different things, right? Either to do things that I use, you know, I gotta explain because the minerals are used for all kinds of things. You know, they stones, earth crust that are beneath the earth, and you use them for all kinds of stuff, cosmetics, chemical, you know, weapons and things like that. So these minerals are in abundance in this country, but China usually has 60%, but they produce like 90% of all those minerals up in China. But China also gets some from other countries, right? Like all these countries are enriched with minerals, except the United States has no minerals, and it depends on other countries for these minerals. So the United States is also involved in fighting with other countries. We're not gonna have these minerals. First, we have oil, right, that we could tap into, but we never use, right? We import oil from other countries. Everything we do is imported. So now the most important thing in our government's mind is these minerals. And mind you, we never mentioned minerals before. We never needed minerals before. We never negotiated anybody with minerals that if you give us minerals, we're going to protect you from your neighbors or for an aggressive neighbor or another country. All of a sudden now, America made this its top priority, right? Not the people, not the food, not the economy, but minerals, right? Minerals more for more mass destructions and more wars, right? Because if that was the case, right, Russia would have just stepped in way a long time ago and asked the Ukrainian president for these minerals, or he would have took it. He's the closest to Ukraine than anybody else. Poland and all these things, Germany, they're all closer to Ukraine, and nobody stepped in and talked about minerals until now, right? At the end of the war, that Russia's almost close to annihilate the whole Ukraine, because it's rebel now. It's rebel, right? People can't live there anymore. You know, it's gonna take millions of dollars. So that billion that we spend is gonna take another $1 billion to reconstruct that country and put it up again and running the way it was before the war broke out. So I don't understand how these people think that minerals is gonna save the planet and has peace throughout the world. Is we still adding more to that. We're not only adding these mineral conflict now, right? We have everybody fighting. There's trade wars now, and it messed up the economy, especially the stock market is crashing because of all this trade. Why can't you just put a simple thing? No, everybody's gonna trade free. You import to us, we import to you. The thing is that the problem is with our government now that he feels left out, that everybody's importing in the United States, and what we import out, nobody's buying, so they don't purchase no more, so we can export because our products are not there anymore. We don't produce like we used to do, right? We got the names, right? We got the Ford, the Chevy, all these things, the Dodge, the Jeeps. We hold the title of the name, but the parts are not made in America anymore. The Fords, the Chevys, The G's, all those parts are not made here in America for the model of the cars that you have. Right? All those pieces are foreign, are made foreign pieces in an American-made car. And the whole internal of the car is all foreign made, except the name. So that's a problem. So that's why the United States is upset. But you can't be upset. You cannot force people to buy products that they don't want. Mostly everything in America now is a foreign product. And mostly everybody in America has foreign products, utensils, machinery, furniture, clothing. Everything is foreign. Nothing says USA made anymore. Nothing. So you cannot get mad at the world because our own people are not producing. And the problem lies with that because our government has too many bureaucracy, too many red tape, and too many rules and regulations to go through just to open a business. You know how many talented people in America we have that create their own parts in-house in their own backyards where CNC machines, the machines are there, everything is there, everything that takes money and space. And that's the thing that America don't support its people to do. American people are talented. Every time I see these videos, you got people making all these parts. They can't buy it. They make it themselves and they put it in it, make it as a kit and they sell it to the other friends and clubs that they join and things like that. And it's a fair exchange. But see, America doesn't have that mindset anymore. That's why all these manufacturers that we had here, they left and they never came back. They tried it, trying to give them a 10-year credit. They never came back. It's hard to open up a business here in America now because of all these things, right? The wages are too high to pay the employees. The employees are always arguing. They're never satisfied. You think they're going to pay all my money to an employee and not produce in my business and get my profits back, get my money? I'm going to keep the business running? No. I'm going to close down, lay off everybody, and that's it. Nobody will have a job. So you're going to have to count on the government. And people don't think like that. In the day of technology, people should be learning something in technology, should be learning a second-hand skill that you can protect yourself. Like when you lay off or something, you can make side money, a side job. You can't depend on the government all the time. I'm always saying that. You cannot depend on your government all the time. That thing is temporary. If you need help, okay, you go out to the social services department and apply for whatever you need. And until you get on your feet. But now you're going to live on generational government help. You only putting yourself into a trap and not going to get nowhere. So you cannot complain. So the thing is, this mineral thing is not going to help anybody win any war, stop anybody from going to war, having all these civil outbreaks. Because people, is that mineral thing was the most important thing. We wouldn't have had this problem because everybody would have put that in top priority. Everybody in these minerals, they exchange minerals and things like that. No, but that's not the thing. These minerals are made, or they want to use them for more mass destruction and more problems, people. And with that, people, I let you go and you think about that. Life is not based on minerals only, but what can you produce to keep life going on? And with that, I let you go and you think about that.